5 things that are put into consideration when teams are being ranked or considered to be the favorites to win a competition or a tournament. Just as you can see right here, these are the clubs considered to be the favorites to win the UEFA Champions League title this season, according to Opta predictions. I know so many people have the reservation for this ranking. Why is Arsenal above Real Madrid? Why is this? Why is that? But let me just tell you that this thing didn't just come out from the blues. There are so many facts and figures that were put into place to make sure that these chances were created. Now, let me tell you the 5 things that were done and considered for these chances to be created. Number 1 is what they call the power ranking, which is considered to be the team strength of every team participating in a competition. Right here, they take a look at the recent and historical performances of every team in Europe and also in the domestic league. Let's say, for example, when they are considering a team like Arsenal or Liverpool, they take a look at how have they been performing before and now in Europe and also in the domestic league. And as well, they take a look at how these teams play. The way they play, the way they attack, the way they score goals, the way the team is structured, they look at all of these things as well. How many goals do they score? How many goals do they concede? So all of these things is packaged under the team's strengths, and it is put into consideration when chances like this are being created. The number 2 thing that is looked at is what they call the player quality. Now, this is where the squad quality comes into play. What type of player do these teams have? What sort of impactful players do they have? They consider the goal scorers, the defenders, the midfielders, the goalkeeper. They look at everything holistically to know how good the squad is in terms of the squad depth and the squad quality. Aside that, they also consider injuries. Are there players in this squad that are injury prone? How well do they cope with injuries? So all of these things are put into place as well. They also take a look at transfers. The players that they sign, the players are left, do they weaken or strengthen the squad? So all of these things is judged under the player quality, which is the second thing that is considered. The third thing that is looked at is what they call the form and momentum of every team. Now, when we talk about the form and momentum of every team, they take a look at how well are these teams playing recently. This one is not about what you did in the time past. How well are these teams playing recently? Let's say, for example, a team like Manchester City or a team like Manchester United. Man United are not in the Champions League, just for example purposes. So they take a look at how well are they playing recently in terms of their result, and as well, how consistent are they when it comes to getting results against big opponents? Because the Champions League is not for small teams. So they take a look at how well and consistent this club get results when they play against big opponents. And this is where the form and momentum of these clubs are being checked. The fourth thing that is looked at is what is called the tournament structure. So every time you see a ranking like this is made, the tournament structure is put into consideration. What are the likely opponents that you're going to be facing in the tournament? And what is the advantage that you have in terms of home and away? And when it comes to head-to-head against the teams, how well do you perform? So all of these things are classified under the tournament structure. And the last but not the least is what we call the simulation. Now, this involves the computer. So according to Opta, I know when they were doing this, they made use of computer simulation because they simulate almost every matches, to get a possible result. And what do I mean by simulation? They put teams into a computer and then they find out an outcome. Let's say, for example, they put Barcelona and Ajax into a computer. The computer will do analysis of the chances of Barcelona to win this match, the chances of Ajax to win this match, and the chances of a possible draw in this game. So this is done for every team in the tournament, and then they come up with the data of the result of every possible outcome of the matches, and this is where simulation comes in. So these are the 5 things that are looked at and used to judge the chances of teams winning in competition or the chances of being favorite in a tournament. Don't forget, number 1 is the team strength. The number 2 is the player or the squad quality. The number 3 is the form and the momentum of this team. The number 14 is the tournament structure, and then the last is the simulation. So anytime you see chances like this, it doesn't necessarily mean that the team at the top must win the tournament. For example, as you're seeing Liverpool and Arsenal and PSG right now, it doesn't mean that the winner must be Liverpool, Arsenal, or PSG. Just like in the FIFA Club World Cup, you saw that Chelsea were not even in the top 5 when it comes to the favorite to win the tournament, but they still won it. So what this means is that in terms of the facts and figures, realistically, the winners of this tournament, based on ranking, is meant to be Liverpool, Arsenal, PSG, just like that. But in real terms, football can be funny. Anything can happen along the way. So it's up to the teams to make use of the advantage that was given to them. So I believe when let's look at things like this, you will not just be angry or get emotional about it.